Having fled Pakistan, 24-year-old Hania is fortunate to be an information technology engineering student at a private university in Malaysia through Fugees High Ed Scholarship, an academic scholarship program for refugees.
So when I was I was not a student, I applied for many universities or for many jobs. So that was very a torture I can say that torture situation for me, because first when I came to Malaysia, it was really difficult situation to do any type of work, because the work situation is to like a labor work or like a work that we didn't even think about that in Pakistan. So these type of works, and also for education, academic field, I applied to many universities, but same answer I received, like you are a refugee, you are not applicable to apply for this university or for this status.
Fugees Program Director Abdul Majid Chahror said only 5 candidates for the scholarship were selected among more than 300 applicants. Besides Hania, he said another recipient is pursuing a full-time degree course in computer science while working full-time after the student lost his father to the COVID-19 virus.
Even though he's gone through all of these things, he still is excelling at work and excelling in his studies, and is showing, great motivation in doing both. And of course, other examples, for example, a lot of, especially the women scholars who have gone through a lot to convince their families and that the education is important for me as a woman, right? So all of these things.
According to the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, 45,650 refugees living in Malaysia are under 18 years old. Chahror said UNHCR data in 2016 showed that only 48 refugees in Malaysia were enrolled in higher education institutions. And globally, he said there is a 5% enrollment rate in higher education among refugees compared to 39% for non-refugee youths worldwide. After the first round of scholarships funded through private donations, Fugees School is now crowdfunding to help more students. A fundraiser website, Global Giving, has agreed to match donations with 50% top-ups for every donation received from April 4th to 8th. Donors pledging monthly would also have their donations matched with 100% top-up after the 4th month.
For the scholarship, it's more of like for every, of course, if you donate 5,000 ringgit, you ensure that one student access university for 1 year. So the total amount of the scholarship is 20,000 ringgit. So doing the math, but we're trying to break it down. So for the scholarship as well, we take it by month and by semester. So of course, if you can't donate 5,000, you can always split it per month, right? So they have the option of donating one-off or monthly. Yeah.
Fugees School started in 2019 as a tuition class for 4 students. Today, it provides primary and secondary education for 200 children, mostly from the Middle East and Greater Middle East regions. Fugees School Principal and Director of Education Kudzai Charlton said the school provided an inclusive environment.
We're also trying to improve their awareness of them being kind of in an inclusive environment whereby they don't see each other mainly different. And then also within that part being said, we also try to have mental health for them, whereby they're able to understand their surroundings, they're able to relate other things. And as much as we have other activities outside the school, we also try to focus on those activities that kind of expose the Malaysian culture as per se, for them to be easily integrated in the system and be aware of their surroundings. Within Fugees, we kind of have created a safe environment for them, because within the school all of them communicate in English. So it's one of those things that it kind of becomes an international zone that they can all be able to communicate with each other without noticing much of their differences.
Another challenge refugees face is having their degrees recognized because their enrollment may not be endorsed by the Ministry of Higher Education. Monash University Malaysia is one of the several universities which are partnering with UNHCR to provide education and training for refugees.
CERT is basically CERTE, and it stands for Connecting and Equipping Refugees for Tertiary Education. So CERT aims to identify refugees who can demonstrate motivation and academic potential to gain access to education and equip and empower them to gain a place at any university or college in Malaysia.
The business school of the university is also working with groups like FUJI to support refugee students through mentorship and project management.